guys, Plant Papa here. So as you can see, I am in familiar territory. If you've ever seen any of our other videos, um, I am back in Canada. I in fact did get off the trail. If you remember in my last couple of videos, I was telling you guys how my back was really bothering me and that I might have to get off trail to kind of figure out what's going on. So rather than staying down in the US and spending, weeks laid up somewhere and spending loads of dollars, I figured I should probably just go home, deal with my ailment, figure out what's going on with my back, and then I can always go back down. So if you remember on day 31 in our last video, I was in a place called the LA RV Resort. So I got a ride from my trail angel, and while we were going up to Aquadulce, I was telling him about my problems, and he said, because I was thinking I would get it taken care of in Aquadulce, because I thought Aquadulce was way bigger than Acton, but apparently it's not. So he was telling me this, and he's like, yeah, if you go to Aquadulce, I mean, nothing's going to be able to happen there. I was asking him about that, oasis and spa that was supposedly up there, but he said, yeah, he said, that's not what you think it is. It's basically just somebody has opened up their acreage, so to speak, and allow people to set up tents, and they have a few facilities there, but it's actually even smaller than the LA RV Resort. So he said, you're not gonna find any help there. So I wound up going to Palmdale, California, and I went to a Holiday Inn, and that's where I talked to my wife and family, and we discussed the fact that I probably needed to get off trail. And so I decided that moment, that evening of the 31st day, that I was actually going to catch a plane the next day and head home. So that's where I am. I've been home for a couple of weeks. Most of my bumps and scrapes and bruises and scratches are all healed up, and even my back, which was really bad, I would say it's maybe 90% right now. So that's pretty good. But what am I going to do going forward? We're doing a little bit of a road trip. I'll talk to you about that. Not all is lost, because we are going on a road trip. We're going back to Oregon. Me and a couple of family members, we're doing what I would call a PCT road trip. We are actually going to hit some of the sites along the way that I would have otherwise have seen had I stayed on the trail. So we'll be hitting places like the Bridge of the Gods and the Timberline Lodge and Leavenworth in Washington State. But we're also going to go down to the Oregon coast, and we're going to do a couple of adventures down that way. And you guys are going to still see some great videos upcoming. And I got to make a decision as to whether I want to get back on the PCT. I've thought about bringing my gear with me just in case, because if I'm down there, I could just hop back on and continue on. So it's all kind of up in the air right now. Right now, I would say I'm probably not going to go back on the PCT. I live an hour from Banff National Park, and I have Jasper National Park a couple hours away, and Waterton National Park down south. And I have some amazing hiking trails in my area that I can do this summer, and I can show you guys the Canadian Rockies. And but I mean, I don't know, I'm torn, because I'm starting to wonder, am I a through hiker or am I a day hiker? And I have to admit, I'm wavering, because I struggled a bit on the southern portion of the PCT. I wasn't even sure if I was enjoying it. And I'm not sure if it was the trail or if it was just me. And so I'm really torn as to whether I want to, go back on the trail or not. So I haven't made that decision yet, but I still plan on bringing you guys lots of videos this summer, even if I don't. So I realize a lot of you, subscribed because you wanted to see the PCT. But, if you stick with me, you're going to see some amazing Canadian Rocky hikes. And, there's so many of them, and I think you'll really enjoy them. So I would say stick with us. But, I'm glad I got off the trail. One thing, it's allowed me to do a reset. My pack, for instance, is what hurt my back. I was using the Osprey AG65 Atmos, and it just didn't fit me right. So I did switch packs, as I talked about in my last video, and it definitely fit better. It fit my hips. It wasn't shrinking down on me. And I think that pack would work and would prevent my back from getting sore, but I don't know that for sure. I am going to a chiropractor this week, and so I'm going to have my back looked at, and we'll go from there, I guess. That's all I can do at this point. And I definitely needed this reset, because even my food and nutrition, I felt like my body was breaking down rather than being, built up and strengthening. I felt like I was getting weaker by the day. I lost a pile of weight. I was losing like half a pound a day. So my nutrition was not where it needed to be. I wasn't eating the right food. The dehydrated food that I brought along and sent ahead for myself, that stuff was just terrible. I actually adjusted my meals a little bit as I was going on the trail, but I would do things a lot differently. So stay tuned, because our next video, which will be coming up in a week or so, will be all about the gear I used, what gear was working, and pretty much all my gear was perfect. Nothing failed. And so, other than my backpack, I guess, I wouldn't call it a failure. I mean, that pack is actually a really nice pack, and it had great features, but it was too long in the torso. I needed a pack that had a shorter torso. So I went with the Gregory Zulu, which has a 15-inch to 19-inch adjustment, which is perfect. And that's the pack I'll be using if I do go back on the trail, or I'm thinking about maybe doing section hiking and stuff like that, but we'll see. I guess that's about it for now, but we'll see you on the next video, and stay tuned and stay with us. We'll bring you all kinds of great videos, especially along the Oregon coast and stuff, so it should be a good time. Look forward to bringing it to you. Talk to you later.